All right, so number 80. So they want us to find the volume of this funky shaped, I don't know what it is. So what do you guys remember about volume of a prism? Just to find the volume of a prism. What do you think?
Isn't it base times length times width times height?
Yeah. So volume of a prism is length times width times height. Or sometimes you'll see it, this is how you'll see it on your reference sheet. Volume equals capital B, which stands for base, your base area, times height. Okay? So the area of your base. So I'm looking at this, and this looks like a pretty complex figure. Right?
Oh, I know what we can do.
What can we do?
You know where it is right here, where the line is? You can like
here?
cut it in half.
So we want to split it here. We can split it into two different shapes. So now we have two rectangular prisms.
But I think, well, now I'm going to
Yeah, we have two rectangular prisms. We find the area of those two prisms and we add them together, right? So let's do this with this one first. So volume equals base area times height. So what is my base of, no, what shape is the base of,
rectangle.
it's a rectangle. So this is my base right here. Okay? So how do I find the area of that rectangle? Okay, so length times width. So my base area would be, what's my length?
18.
18. What's my height?
4.
4. Okay. What's the height of that prism?
72.
Where'd you get the 5?
From where that corner is on the bottom, right?
Right here? Yeah.
Yes.
This is my height of the prism. Okay. So I'm going to multiply all that times 5. Plug that into your handy dandy calculator.
360.
Okay. 18 times 4 is 72. 72 times 5 is 360. 360 what?
360 meters squared. Meters squared. Those meters, because you have square feet.
Cubed. Length, width, height. I'm multiplying three different dimensions, so I'm cubing it. Right? All right, so that's this one. So I can write on this one, volume equals 360 meters cubed. All right. Do I have another colored pencil here? I thought I did. I don't. All right, so let's do the volume of the other one. Volume equals base area times height. So my base area on this one, how am I going to figure that out? Okay, which is going to give me
11 times 5.
5 is my height. 6 is this one. So if this is 6, then that one's also 6, right?
11 times 6 times 5.
Times 5. So volume equals 66 times 5. So volume equals 330. So this one, volume equals 330 meters cubed. Andrew can be moved. I don't like calling people out on videos that parents have access to, but, you know, I'm not opposed to it. Now I add them together, so now I have
690 meters
360 plus 330 gives me 990, or 690, I can add today, meters cubed. So our answer is B. Okay? Is it just me, or does that look a little blurry?
No, I think it's just you.
Is it just me? I do need to get my eyes checked. I do need to get my eyes checked. It is entirely possible that it's me. All right, Mr. Canine is determining how much it will cost to air condition the doghouse for his champion Chihuahua.
Oh, you can get it, Canine Chihuahua.
Chihuahua. All right, the air conditioning company says that if they will tell him the cubic footage, they can estimate his monthly cooling cost. The doghouse is shown below. What is the volume in cubic feet?
Now you can do actually the same thing, but except in a 3D dimensional figure.
Well, this is a 3D figure too.
Or it's the same thing, but instead you can just take off like the triangle on top of the...
Right, so we can find the volume of the triangular prism and then find the volume of the rectangular prism. Right? Okay, so which one are we going to start with? Triangle or start with the triangle? All right, so volume equals base area times height.
To find the area of a triangle, isn't it 1/2 times length? No, base and height.
Yes. So volume equals, so this is going to be 1/2 base times height times the height of the prism. Okay? So our volume equals 1/2 times, what's the base of that triangle?
3 feet.
3. What's the height of the triangle?
1
Times 1. What's the height of the prism?
The height of the prism would be 5.
It would be 5. It's the distance between the two bases. So it's going to be times 5. So this is my height. Okay? So volume equals 1/2 of 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15, and I know half of 15 is 7.5, right?
7.5.
7.5? So this is 7.5 cubic feet. So this is 7.5 feet cubed. Okay, so let's do this bottom one. Volume equals base area times height. So how do I find the base area? Length times, so that's going to be length times width times height. So my volume equals, what's my length?
5 feet.
My length
Oh,
of the base,
5
4, times the width,
times the width, wouldn't it be 3?
3, times the height of the prism, 5. So volume equals, let's see, yep, 5 times 4 is 20, times 3 is 60 cubic feet. So this is 60 feet cubed. Okay?
67.5.
Yep, I'm going to add them together, and I get 67.5 feet cubed. Okay? All right, volume of a cylinder. Volume of the cylinder is the same thing. Volume equals base area times height.
Is it really the same thing as the rectangle and the square?
Okay, it's the same formula, but how we calculate our base area is different. How do we calculate the area of a circle?
Circumference. Right?
No, circumference is the distance around.
Radius.
Area of a circle equals pi r squared. Pi r squared. Okay? So this will be volume equals pi times my radius, which is what? 5 squared, times my height of the cylinder is 10. Okay? So we're going to put in 3.14 for pi. 3.14 times 5 squared is
50.7.
5 squared is 25 times 10. Now multiply.
785.
So we have 3.14 times 25 times 10. We get 785. Volume equals 785 what?
Yards cubic.
Cubic yards, or yards cubed. Okay? All right, we good? All right. 83. Oh, Lord. Miss Paisel, I lost my formula sheet. I'm gonna need the cone one.
The cone one?
Yeah, I think
It's 1/3 base times height.
That's it? Okay. 1/3 base area times height? Okay. All right. Number 83, a small cylindrical box holds 352 cubic centimeters. If the height of the cylinder is 7 centimeters, what's the approximate measure of the diameter? All right, so let's draw this. I have a cylinder. I'm not an artist, that's why I teach math. All right, so a small cylindrical box holds 352. So that's its what?
That's the area.
It's its volume. That's my volume. If the height of the cylinder is 7 centimeters, so that's my height, what's the approximate measure of the diameter?
Can't you divide by that?
Oi! All right, I'm getting a piece of paper. I'm going to need more room. We have the volume. What's it asking me for? The diameter. Which means I have to work backwards. So I have to figure out what the area of the circle is, and then I can figure out from the area of the circle, I can figure out what the radius is, right? And then from the radius, I can figure out what the diameter is. Hoi.
So you can't divide it?
Okay. All right, here we go. I have my cylinder. I'm going to draw my cylinder again. Yep, this is number 83. All right, I'm going to use a different color though, so it shows. Well, it shows up okay. So I know that volume equals base area times height. I also know that my base area is going to be pi r squared, right? Because it's a circle. Can also be 3.14 times radius squared, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Stay with me. So when we go back up here, we can plug stuff in here. I know that volume is 352, so I can write that in. 352 equals my base area is 3.14 radius squared times my height of my cylinder, which we know is 7. So I have to do 3.14 times 7 gives me 21.98, right? So this is 21.98 r squared equals 352. Okay, so how do I get r squared by itself? Yep, got to divide by 21.98. Divide by 21.98. So I'm left with r squared equals, so I have 352 divided by 21.98. That equals 16.01. Okay, that's r squared. Okay, well, no, this means r times r is 16.
That means something times something is 16. What is that something?
Really? 8 times 8 is 16?
8 times 8 is 61, right? 64.
No, 2. No, 4.
4. Why is it 4? Okay, so here's another way I can do it. I have 16.01 on my calculator. To get r squared, I have to take the square root of both of them. So when I take the square root, that means r times r, right? So the square root of r times r is r. I can hit this button right here. See this button that looks like the funny division sign over the x? That's a square root sign. If you hit that, you're going to get 4.00 something, 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 something. This asks me for an approximation of my diameter. So if my radius is approximately 4, what is my diameter? Diameter is 8. Look at what those sneaky little boogers did. If I'm not paying attention, when I get here, I'm going to go, oh, look, there's my answer. Bloop. That's not going to work so well for me, is it? Because what did they ask for? Your diameter, which is this one, which is this one. Wait, what's the matter, Dad? Tell me where you're confused, babe. Because isn't diameter 2 times the radius? If my radius is 4, what's my diameter? My diameter is 8. Because my diameter equals 2 times my radius. Okay? All right. 84. You sure it's 1/3?
Yeah, because I remember last year I'm like, it's a third because you can pour 3 into a square.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Okie
I
dokie.
remember doing that last year. That's how I know.
Okay, number 84.
You taught last year?
No, not here. Number 84. For the 7th grade dance, students get the commemorative glass shown below. To the nearest tenth, how many cubic inches of soda will the glass hold? And it tells us to use 3.14 for pi. Well, why do we need pi?
Because it has a cone and it has a circle on the top.
Okay, so our base, so this is really, this is a cone that we're dealing with, right? We're dealing with a cone. Do you agree? Okay. So, volume of a cone. Volume equals 1/3 of the base area times height. Because it's not. Because that's the rule.
Because last year I did a little activity where we had a cone and then we had a square prism, and they had the same like the surface area on the top of it, you know. So we poured 3 cones of water, poured it into the square prism. That's just how I know. This is a little activity.
It'll be on your formula sheet. When you see one that says 1/3, that's your cone. Okay? 1/3. If it's got the 1/3, it's for a cone. Okay? I'm going to take your reference sheet over the weekend, and I'm going to write everything that you're going to need to write on it when you get it. Because, like, your circle formulas aren't there. And it just gives you the formulas. It doesn't tell you what they're for. I'm going to put that all on there so you can study it, learn it, and make sure you have it. Okay? All right, so let's do this. Volume of a cone is 1/3 base area times height. So with this one, I have, it's a 3 inches by 7 inches. Okay? So how do I find the area? How do I find the area of my base? Because my base is kind of upside down, isn't it? My base is on the top. How do I find the area of a circle? My base area is going to be pi r squared, right? Because my base is a circle. Okay? So they told us to use 3.14 for pi. What's my radius? Three is my radius? Half of 3 is 1.5. My radius is 1.5 because my diameter is 3. It's 3 all the way across. Okay? So it's 3.14 times 1.5 squared. So what's 1.5 squared? 1.5. You guys know you have that button on your calculator too, right? 1.5 squared. Right here, x squared. This one right here. So I can just hit 1.5 and then hit the x squared button and it'll square it for me. 1.5 squared is 2.25 times 3.14 gives me what? Gentlemen. So my base area is 7.065 what?
0.5.
Okay. Now I come over here. Volume equals 1/3. My base area is 7.065 times what? What's my height?
Your height is 7.
Is 7. Okay. So now I take my 7.065 and I multiply it times 7. And that gives me
49.455.
so 1/3 times 49.455. So now multiplying by 1/3 is the same as doing what?
Dividing by 1.
It's dividing by 3, right? So I can just divide by 3. So I wind up with 16.485. Volume equals 16.485. 16.485 inches cubed. Is that my answer? Is that my answer? Really? Read the problem. Read the whole sentence. To the nearest tenth. So 16.485 would round to what? See, if my volume equals 16.485 and I need to round to the nearest tenth, the nearest tenth 16.5. Volume equals 16.5. This is the place I need to round to, so I have to look here. There's our answer. All right, Suzanne is making a layered cookie mix by filling the cylinder shown 3 centimeters high with chocolate chips, 3 centimeters high with nuts, and 6 centimeters high with brown sugar. The remainder of the cylinder is filled with flour to the top. How many cubic centimeters of flour will be used? Do I need to find the volume of this whole cylinder?
No.
Nope. Because I've got 3 centimeters
Square.
is chocolate chips. 3 centimeters is nuts. 6 centimeters is brown sugar. And the rest of it's going to be filled with flour. So how many centimeters of flour am I going to have?
9 times 6 will be 54.
Why are you multiplying?
Just have to add
3 plus 3 is
plus 6.
6. 6 plus 6 is, that's what I thought.
Yeah, you said 3.
Did I say 3?
Yeah.
You guys should be able to read my mind by now. Come on now. So 12 of the 20 centimeters is going to be filled up with other stuff. So how much of it is going to be flour?
10. No.
If the whole thing is 20 centimeters high and 12 centimeters is filled up with other stuff, 8 centimeters. So I really need to find the volume of this 8 centimeters. So my volume equals my base area times height. Volume equals, how am I finding my base? What's my base area? What shape is my base?
A cylinder.
What shape is my base?
A square. A rectangle.
It's a circle.
So pi r squared.
So volume is pi r squared. And I'm going to multiply that times my 8, right? Because that's how much I need to fill. So volume equals 3.14 times, what's my radius?
6.
Why is it 6?
Because 12 divided by 2.
12 divided by 2 is 6. And then I'm going to multiply that times 8. All right? Volume equals 6 squared is what?
36.
Okay, so this is 3.14 times 30 times 8. Gives me what? 36 times 3.14 times 8. Volume equals 904.32 centimeters cubed. How many centimeters of flour will be used? 904.32 cubic centimeters of flour. It doesn't tell us to round. It doesn't tell us to round. Okay. But something to keep in mind. Something to keep in mind. Oh, wait. I'm going to give you a little test taking strategy, but if you'd rather chit chat, that's cool too. Okay, a little test taking strategy. Your test is going to be multiple choice. So if you round it, it's going to be whatever's closest to it. If they don't tell you to round to it, then they want the exact answer. They don't want you to round. All right, volume of a sphere. I'm going to come over here. Oh, that's not even on here, is it? Because it's not one. Volume of a sphere, that's the one that's 4/3, isn't it? Hey, Hazel. Volume of a sphere, isn't that 4/3? It's funky. And it's not on their sheet because it's not a 7th grade standard, it's a 8th grade standard. But they have to know what it is. All right, hold that thought. Let me find it. Where's their pi r cubed? cubed. Okay. All right, now that we have the formula. This is going to be one of those that you're going to need to know. I'll put it on your reference sheet that I put up on Edsby for you guys to play with. All right, volume of a sphere. Volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. That's your formula. Yep, because it's
Why is it improper?
because that's the way it is.
Square is cubed.
Squared is area, cubed is volume. Okay? Squared, two-dimensional, right? Length times width. Cubed is three-dimensional. Three-dimensional. Length times width times height. That's three measurements. So it's cubed. Okay? All right, so here we go. Find the volume of the sphere. This one's not going to be hard to do because we don't have, it gives us the radius. So volume equals 4/3 times pi, 3.14, times our radius, 7.2 cubed. Okay, so volume equals 4/3 times 3.14 times, okay, watch, let me show you how to do this on the calculator. 7.2, hit this y to the x, and then 3, and then enter, and it cubes it for you.
How do you know this stuff?
Or you can go 7.2 times 7.2 times 7.2. Okay? This y to the x, whatever number you plug in, see this one? It's the one right underneath the off button. I put in 7.2, and then I hit y to the x, and then I hit 3, and then I hit enter, or equal. 3, no, it's 7.2 times 7.2 times 7.2.
So when we write all the
That's cubing it, yeah. 373.248.
Miss, I have a question.
Then hold on, let me finish this problem and then I'll answer your questions, okay? Multiply that times 3.14. So I have 4/3. Holy moly.
we're not gonna be able to
4/3 times 1171.99872. Huh.
Is there a pi button instead of you just typing
Yeah, but it's not just 3.14, which is what you want.
it's more?
Yeah. Okay. So now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to divide this by 3. Okay, I'm going to divide this by 3. Divided by 3. That gives me 4 times 390.6624. Then I'm going to multiply it times 4. And that gives me 1562.66496. Oi. So the volume equals 1562.66496 units cubed, because they didn't give us they didn't tell us what our units were. Where? That's a 9. It's the same as this number right here. That's a U for units, because they didn't tell us what our units were. But we know it's cubic units, whatever they are. That's the answer right there. This is 4 times 390.66624. Okay? All right. 87. 89, and then we will have done the whole packet. So we've only got 3 more problems. And then we're done.
4 more minutes. Final minute.
Do we only have 4 minutes left?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to stop it. I'll do these last 3 with the 8th period.